Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon, Rayron VR. Got another manga spotlight video for you guys today. This is the splendid work of a monster maid, volume 2. Let's go and take a look at the back here and see what we got. Alright, so we've got the Yen Press. It is older teen for language, nudity, and violence, 15 US dollars. And with that, let's go ahead and see what we got here. At the end of her wandering, Sumi, the necromata, found herself in the company of a spirited android and a compassionate undead. Led by the sweet, loving elder prince, the team of monster maids traveled across the demon realm, outsmarting the scientists and rescuing damsel in distress. However, and unbeknownst to them, trouble is brewing, as word of their exploits has reached the ears of the Demon King's underlings. Dun, dun, dun. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about some non-spoilery stuff. Overall, I did enjoy this manga. It is a great continuation of the splendid work of a Monster Maid series. It leaves off, obviously, where Volume 1 kind of left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger. But kind of interesting, we get a little bit more backstory on our prince. And we'll go into that with spoilers, but overall the illustrations were fine, the story was fine. I enjoyed the characters, got to know them a little bit more better, and the world is starting to expand a little bit. So definitely a nice little twist on the whole monster maid type of genre, so to speak. But overall, I did like it, highly recommend it. And with that, let's go ahead and go into some spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, feel free to watch this video at a later time. But with that, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So at the end of the last volume, we had our main protagonist here, the undead Miss, I believe it was Rose. And yeah, she was trapped by the doctor. And we kind of get some backstory with our doctor here. Basically, in the past, he created this serum to basically bring any undead body back to life. And the village that he was working for didn't exactly agree with his work ethics. And irony enough, the village ended up killing him, but he was able to have some of the serum and he became undead himself. So we kind of get some backstory behind it. And then we have our other two service monster maids here. We've got Sumri and Ivy. They come in and they're able to save Rose from the individual, and they were able to basically put serum into, or the antidotes, so to speak, on the on a doctor, and eventually knocked him out. So they were able to rescue Rose, and then basically everything is all good. And so they're kind of on break, so to speak, and they go to kind of a diner to have as a reward for a victory mission. And the main kind of hostess of the diner, look, it's a squid. It's like a kraken type of thing, and this squid has this siren. It's kind of like a harpy type of creature. Unfortunately, unknown to our main protagonist, she has been enslaved by a demoness necklace. It's got the particle effect on the necklace that indicates that she is under control, and the only one who is able to hear kind of the crying of this particular siren harpy creature was our cat Sumri, because again she has the cat reflexes when it comes to or the hearing of a cat essentially. But she was able to hear the cries, and then they were able to get kind of into a fight with this kraken, because the kraken kind of realized that they're going to free the person that's bringing in me money for the diner, and they were able to free the siren after that. So kind of a little bit of a side story type of event, but the monsters in here are really cool, really well drawn out. I want to actually see if I can find a picture just to show you guys exactly what the siren looks like. So yeah, like I said, kind of a harpy type of person. Again, the illustrations are really cool, and that's when the three of them were freed to help the siren there. Again, very beautiful illustrations. So with that, they go on to their next mission, which is a kind of a mushroom type individual, very old monster. And this time, Ivy unfortunately runs out of energy and has to be recharged. Rose basically stays with Ivy. So in this case, it's just Sumri and the prince. And so they go over to this particular elderly mushroom type of individual, and they realize that there is another demon type of item. And it is basically this misfortune cup. And this cup basically, instead of telling like your future or your goodwill or whatever, it tells you like misfortunes. And so this particular mushroom tells the prince that a soon to be secret will be exposed. So, again, kind of another cliffhanger for another volume for another day. But the prince and the so called mushroom person, they actually have a past. And when the prince was very young, would actually help out this mushroom. And unfortunately, when the prince kind of holds the hand of this mushroom, the mushroom kind of fades away into the distance, and they were able to actually get the cup without any fighting. And this is the first time we've seen that, sometimes you don't have to fight. Sometimes nature will take its course, and then you can get the cup peacefully. So, kind of an interesting visualization and storytelling when it comes to that. That not all, trying to get all the items doesn't necessarily have to end in violence. So pretty interesting. And then we go into our last kind of evil entity thing for this particular volume. But this one was kind of a they call it the dream artist, and it's basically a horse demon looking thing. I guess the best way to describe it is to show you. Let's see if I can find a picture here. Illustration. Normally I have my bookmarks, but this time I just wasn't prepared. But let's go ahead and see if I can find this creature thing for you. Yeah, so here is the demon horse thing, the dream artist. And basically, with the ability of a particular amulet / necklace thing, this horse is able to instill bad dreams on her victims. And so this horse tries to do it on Sumri. However, she is able to snap out of it because of a particular event that happened with Sumri and Ivy. And with that, she was able to snap out of it, and she was able to get the necklace and stop the horse bad dream person. They don't particularly have names, but if there is, I probably missed it. But anyways, yeah, she was able to snap out from a bad dream. And with that, the volume kind of ends on that the doctor from the very beginning of this volume talks to these two mysterious villains. They look like they are part of the henchmen of the Demon King. But then we start to see kind of the antithesis of the splendid work of a monster Maid, and then we see the Demon King Maid corpse. Yeah, so basically the exact opposite of what this Maid group is doing. So now we have the splendid work of a monster Maid, which is our protagonist, and now we have the Demon's King Maid corpse, which is our antagonists. Sure. And that kind of wraps up the volume at the very end here. Let's see if I can find a quick photo of the demons. Here we go. So we've got the Demon's King's Maid corpse. So that'll be interesting how that plays out. Be very, very interesting. And that wraps up volume 2. So with that, I do really enjoy this particular story. It's just, I find it unique, and I do really enjoy a good, unique story that puts a twist on things. This is definitely not your normal Maid's tale, so to speak. And it's still unraveling the mystery of this Demon King. Now we're starting to see more villains in this. We're starting to see sub villains and so forth. And I'm always a sucker for that. I love, okay, we're just going to attack these little Ponzi type of monsters. Okay, now it's starting to get a little bit more organized, and now we have this sub villains, and now we have, our main antagonists, and then eventually we'll have our bosses. So we're starting to see that unfold, and I always like that linear progression when it comes to storytelling and heroes, essentially. So, but with that, guys, that is all I got for Volume 2 for the splendid work of A Monster Maid. Highly recommend it. And with that, if you have any manga suggestions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to support my work at rayronvr.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and wing hugs to you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.